How you doing, YouTube? My name is Evan. Welcome to my channel, Evan's Ideas. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is extremely important to me, and I think it's important to everybody at some point in their life, and that is what to do if you find yourself in a situation of unemployment or your hours are considerably less than they were before. This video primarily applies to people who could be working but aren't for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what reason, but if you can't work, I suppose this video might not be as relevant to you. Maybe it is, but so let's just say that you decided you had enough of your boss and your job, and one day you were fucking fed up and you were like, hell with this, I'm not coming back, fuck you guys. And then you went home and that was it. That's the end of your job at your company. I'm not here to judge you if that's what you did. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have been there. I've been there before. Or maybe you were just laid off, right? Whatever. It could be anything. Or you're on family leave or something. Work is tough because a lot of the time it's not something that we want to do. It's something that we have to do. And once you leave, it's going to feel really nice for a little bit. And you're going to feel relaxed. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel like you have all the time in the world to do whatever you want finally. And that is true to a degree. But it's important that you keep some things in mind if you're unemployed or if you're going to be unemployed shortly. And the first thing I think that you need to do is figure out your mental health. Now that you're going to have all this time, you really need to start dedicating a large portion of your time to yourself. And when you're working full-time or more overtime, some of the first things you're going to be neglecting if you're doing that are your family, your friends, and yourself. Maybe not in that order either, you know. Maybe you've been neglecting yourself for a long time, right? Maybe you're underweight or you're overweight or you have chronic pain so you don't go out and do anything or whatever. I'm not judging you, but you know, any kind of thing, right? And mental health is one of the things people neglect, especially when they're busy. They don't take time to sit down and think about themselves and who they are and what matters to them. So that's the first thing I'm going to recommend that you do. You don't have to go to therapy, right? It's probably a good idea at least to do some of the things that they would have told you to do if you had gone to therapy. Take inventory of yourself, meditate, think about who you are, why you're on this world, get a little existential with it, get a little fun, you know, think of some things, have some fun, right? We're humans, we're meant to have a little bit of fun. Have some fun thinking about these kind of crazy topics. If you don't know how to do that, I don't know, read a philosopher or something. They'll tell you how to do it. Or read, you know, I would stay clear of self-help books because those are really just there to prey on people who need help. Some of them, at least not all of them. But yeah, think about things a little bit. Think about yourself. Think about why you do what you do. Why you have a tendency. Are you an angry person? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are you afraid all of the time? I'm gonna get going across the street here. Whoa. It's very, we just got some snow today in upstate New York. Probably a few inches. So I'm out here. I've got my nice micro spikes on and I'm out for a walk. You might think it looks cold, but I'm already sweating. I am already hot. I want to take my jacket off and my hat, but I'm not going to. Yeah, maybe you got a lot of things going on in your head. Maybe you've got fear or anxiety, depression. Maybe you've got addictions, any kind of addiction, alcohol, drugs, porn, watching videos, I don't know, anything, reading too much, I guess. just look at yourself critically. It's probably going to hurt. It's going to suck. But I can promise you that you will find good things at the end of that self-reflection eventually. The other thing you should do is work on yourself physically. Get yourself in shape a little bit. Stop vaping, stop smoking cigarettes. You have no income now. So you need to prioritize the things that are going to keep you alive and get rid of the things that are leaking your money away. Okay, the other thing that you need to do after you've started working on yourself, your physical and your mental health, working towards making yourself feel better, is saving your money. If you are not working right now and you don't have a huge amount of money in savings, like a fat stack of fucking cash in there, you're bleeding money that you can't afford to be bleeding. So get rid of all of your subscriptions. Don't spend your money on useless things anymore. These are things that once you start doing them now, you're going to carry that into your future, and it's going to pay dividends once you already know how to do that stuff. I don't spend much money on things besides what I need, and maybe, some things that I like. I don't not spend any money, but you got to learn how to save. That is so important. People don't really learn how to save, and maybe nobody taught you. You probably didn't get taught in school. I know that. They're not teaching people how to save money because they don't want you to save money. It's not part of the education system because it would be very, very bad for the United States economy if people actually saved money, like all the time. Like if people weren't buying, cars, new phones, new houses, bigger houses than they need. If people weren't buying things that they didn't need, it would be terrible for the economy. That's why they don't teach you this stuff, okay? It's better that you don't know. But for yourself, you should know. You should know how to save. You should know how to not spend money on things you don't need. Don't fall prey to marketing. That's what I do for a living, is marketing. That's where I work. All right, I understand how these companies work. They try to sell you things that they know you don't need, that are poorly made, that you're gonna have to buy again and again and again. So don't fall into that trap. Just get rid of things that you don't need. Sell the stuff that you don't need. If you have a nice car that's taking your money, just fucking sell it. Get out from under it. Get a shit box. That kind of stuff. If you can do all that, you'll be in a much better place. You won't have to work as hard. Okay. And the next thing that you need to do after you've improved yourself, your physical and your mental health, you've cut out the things that are bleeding your money, that are stealing money from your bank account. You've done that. Now you need to think about the future. You're very lucky if you're in this situation that you're in, where you're not working. If you have a couple months or a month or a few weeks to take time off, you're gonna realize something. You're gonna realize probably that you have no fucking clue what to do with your time now. Because before, you spent it at work, and now you're at home. So what the hell do you do? That's a big thing. I know so many people, when they get time to spend at home, they're bored out of their minds. Some of them are my family, and I see that, and it's sad because people can't figure out what to do with themselves if they aren't at work, which is the most depressing thing ever. It's like the work that you don't even like doing is the only thing you know how to do, and that really sucks. So what I think you need to do, you'll probably find, is you got to figure out what you actually care about. If you're lucky and you genuinely care about your job, and you maybe you knew from a young age that you wanted to grow up and be an astronaut or a musician, and you found that you've been able to do that, then you're very lucky. But most people, they don't really have any, most people don't have any big passion, any big life goal. They just start working, they pick something and they do it. And that's unfortunately the way it goes for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be that way. I am the first person, by the way, to be walking out here, I think, today, because there are no other tracks on this path. Where are we at here? 5 minutes, okay. Oh God, it's so hot. I'm so hot. It's so cold, but I'm so hot. And I'm sweating. Oh. Okay, we're undoing the hat for now. Oh God, I'm gonna take a break up here at the top of this thing. So, I wanted to get away from the highway there a little bit. It's kind of loud. That's why I don't ever record over the bridge, but okay. So what I think that you need to do, if you have some time on your hands here, is start to figure out something that you actually care about that's not related to work. Because work, while it is a necessary part of life, I think there's a lot of people who would benefit from having something else that they care about a little bit more. If you go to work and all you have to look forward to is your next paycheck, that isn't really much to look forward to. You can always figure out how to make money, and you're gonna have to pretty soon probably. But you wanna always have something that you're doing that's not work related. You wanna actually be somebody. If you just go to work and then go home and that's it, you're like just a robot, man. Like, that's all you're doing, is you're just being a robot, a little work bot. You're going to work and you're doing your tasks, and then you're coming home and you're watching some TV, you're cooking some dinner or buying some dinner, and you know, maybe hanging out with your family a little bit, and then watching a couple episodes of TV, of The Office, maybe playing some Xbox, and then you're going to bed to do it all over again with no end in sight forever. And that leads me into my final point. So that leads me to my final point. Okay, you've worked now at this point. If you've listened to this whole video, you've realized that you need to work on yourself, okay, your physical and your mental health. You realize that you need to start saving. You need to learn how to save and cut down on your costs, and how to live on a little bit thinner margins. That's going to help you save money. You've learned that it's important that you have a goal and you have hobbies and interests and things that you care about. And the last thing, all right, I turned around because I'm getting ready to go home now, and I have to walk back through all of this snow. So the last thing that you need to do is you need to realize that you should take your life seriously. If you're just living for the paycheck, you're going to work so you can make money, so you can buy stuff, you aren't treating your life seriously. I'm sorry to tell you that. We only have a very small amount of time here on this earth. And if you want to spend your whole life working 40, 50, 60 hours a week at a job you don't care about, for people you don't care about, just so you can get a paycheck to buy things that you don't need, be my guest. But I treat my life a little bit more seriously than that. All right, I understand that life is valuable, and there is so much more to life than getting a paycheck. I know you need to work. Everybody needs to work. But if you check out some of my other videos, I think you might find a way that you could decrease the amount that you have to work so that you can go about enjoying your life a little bit more and taking it a little bit more seriously and living like it's the only one you're gonna get. Thank you.